Guys, in the next 30 days, I'm gonna be eating nothing but fast food to try to get shredded, lose weight, and maintain my athletic performance. It sounds impossible, but we're gonna see if we can pull it off. Eat your heart out, Liver King. Let's do it. So right now, I got back from vacation and I have developed a serious case of dad bod. I'm clocking in at 185 pounds, which at 5'11" makes me overweight with a BMI of 25.8. I'm basically the face of the body positivity movement at this point. So to lose the weight, I'm gonna be eating 1,800 calories a day of fast food. The only exceptions are gonna be black coffee and water. The other rule is that these all have to be major chains that you can find in any town in the US. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Paul, you're gonna lose weight eating so few calories, but your athletic performance will suffer. To test that hypothesis, I'm gonna be tracking my progress using a modified version of the Army's old physical fitness test to assign myself a fitness score. And then after 30 days, I'm gonna reassess my performance to see if you can actually get into better shape eating only fast food. So my test was simple: a 2-mile run, 2 minutes of the max reps of push-ups, 2 minutes of max sit-ups, and 1 set of max pull-ups. The results were not good. 40 push-ups, 60 sit-ups, 11 pull-ups, and a 20-minute and 34-second 2-mile. Just a 184 out of 300. Technically, I failed the run according to the Army. Nowhere to go but up. Remember to stick around to the end though. I'm gonna be breaking down not just my weight loss, but how much I spent at each restaurant and my final score on the fitness test. But before I got started, I wanted an expert opinion. So I reached out to the Tackett brothers, 2 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu superstars. So what do you think is gonna happen to me eating fast food for a month straight?
Oh man, you're gonna be chunky. Like it's gonna be all up here in your cheek.
Cardio would take a big dump.
I'm gonna be able to take you down a lot easier.
Decrease in your performance.
Your inflammation's gonna build up. You're gonna have injuries easier.
To feel a little bit weaker and maybe less energy.
You're just gonna be lethargic. You're gonna be uglier.
So basically in your assessment, I'm fucked.
Yes.
All right guys, so we have meal number 1 here. And as always, gotta get the baseline item. We are doing 2 double cheeseburgers. Reason is that's gonna give me exactly 880 calories. I only eat 2 meals a day. I'm not a breakfast guy. I also, of course, got myself a no-calorie water because I love ice water. I know it comes out of my tap at home and I shouldn't be doing this. It's bad for the environment, but I didn't get just that. You see, I also got a little bit of a backup. See, we got the 20-piece McNuggets, right? Another 900 calories. And the nice thing is I'm gonna freeze them so that I always have a little bit of a reserve in my house in case for some reason I can't get out or I can't go. So we're definitely being strategic with this. But my target is 1,800 calories a day. I think when I combine that with my workouts, I'm gonna be running a huge calorie deficit. And honestly, I think I'm going to feel terrible by the end of it. But I'm gonna look great and that's what counts. Okay, let's hit this delicious McDouble. All right guys, there we go. First meal of the challenge is complete. So guys, one of the unexpected challenges in this challenge, first off, is packaging, all right? Why? This is 9 chicken tenders. It looks like it's 400. But the other thing is calorie counts are not easy to find or consistent. Their own website reports one thing, but oftentimes there's baked in assumptions about what you're eating. For example, they just assume you're gonna be eating, in this case, Popeye's chicken tenders with a side, but you don't have to get them with sides. You can have to look on a different website to find just the tenders. And sometimes even those assume that you're going to be eating it with or without a dipping sauce, etc. So what that can mean is that you can really undershoot your calories, which is actually what I did today. Earlier, I had some McDonald's chicken nuggets and thinking that I was getting like a standard meal's worth of calories, 900, but instead I realized that was the combo and I only had 500 calories. So now here I am at 5 p.m. and you know, I'm pretty hungry. So this is not the issue I was expecting to encounter this early in the challenge. I am back from the gym, sweating my ass off, and I felt like hot garbage, just truly awful. But I'm hoping it's just because I was on vacation and now I'm not, because If this is how it feels to live off fast food, I am in for a rough couple of weeks. After lunch, I am back to work till around 6:30 when I go to somewhere like Burger King for dinner. A double Whopper, no cheese, puts me right at another 900 calories. Of course, I am trying to drink lots of water to round out the diet before bed. And this was a pretty typical diet for the first couple days, but soon things started to go south pretty quickly. I started getting gnarly headaches. My ring light for filming started to feel downright painful. In the gym, I felt super tired and sluggish, and even my regular training partner said that I didn't feel anything like my usual self. I was getting drained quickly, and my stamina just wasn't able to sustain me throughout a full 7-minute round. By the end of practice, I felt like I was fighting underwater. This must be how Tyron Woodley feels all the time. I also noticed that my cystic acne was getting significantly worse. I really thought that if I was going to get acne in my mid-30s, it would be because I was eating my trenbolone sandwiches, and I would be looking like I was auditioning for a Marvel Cinematic Universe role. But as it turns out, you can get all the acne and none of the muscle by just eating a diet that's 50% fat. See, when I checked the macros, I realized there were some problems. On a typical day of eating, I was getting 48% of my calories from fats and just 22% from protein. Even worse, I was inhaling sodium. I was eating nearly twice the daily recommended value. The sodium was probably increasing my blood pressure and giving me the headaches, and it was making my body retain water, nerfing my performance faster. I quickly realized I needed to find a way to get my calories and to reduce my sodium intake. My redemption came in the form of sandwich artists, the collective known as Subway. See, mercifully, Subway is a fast food chain that actually serves real vegetables. I actually worked at a Subway during college, and while I vowed never to set foot in one again, I found that if I didn't want to die of a sodium-induced heart attack, I was going to need to reacquaint myself with eating fresh. I found that a Subway protein bowl, which is just a salad with extra meat with oil and vinegar dressing, could allow me a meal with minimal sodium. This meant that my second meal could be from a McDonald's type of restaurant. See, while a good cook is going to use things like flavor, spices, texture, and taste to create a satisfying experience, fast food like McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's all depend on the combination of salt and fat to give their foods their signature savory, satisfying flavor without having to do things like source quality ingredients. But you see, there was one other problem. The Subway protein bowl only had 450 calories. To make up the difference, I had to find a low sodium source of even more calories. So I ended up trading trash food for a different type of trash food. And I went with Subway's oatmeal raisin cookies. They're exactly 400 calories and low in sodium. Plus, raisins are a fruit, so I'm basically a vegan lifestyle influencer at this point. Now my daily macros looked slightly better, with only 45% of my calories coming from fat and 31% coming from carbs. Most importantly, my sodium levels were staying below 250 milligrams, just a smidge above the recommended daily allowance. Plus, the vegetables provided me some valuable micronutrients like vitamin C, potassium, iron, magnesium, and zinc. After making that change up, I felt better in the gym. And by better, I mean that the beatings continued longer because morale had improved. Now, the first 2 weeks, I'm gonna be honest, it was fun. It was interesting, it was gimmicky, and once I figured out the sodium thing, I really thought it was gonna be smooth sailing. And in most of the important ways, it was. My weight was dropping, and my gym performance was trending broadly upward. But as time went on and I went longer and longer without eating quality food, I noticed more and more changes to my body and even my mind. My skin had a bunch of other issues. I got a staph infection, something that hasn't happened since I was in college. And I just noticed that cuts, bruises, and sores from practice healed a lot slower. I also noticed that my mood kind of darkened over time and my motivation to spend time with my friends dropped off. I felt kind of listless and sometimes just sat in my car evenings after I got food and just sort of zoned out for a while. But I still channeled my inner Dave Goggins. I wasn't going to quit eating fast food and feeling like shit just because I was feeling, well, like shit. No, I was going to force down those burgers if it killed me. And finally, at long last, I made it to day 30. In total, I spent $45 at Popeyes, $78 at Burger King, $116 at McDonald's, $172 at Subway for a grand total spending of $505. Now, I lost 10 pounds, dropping from 185 to 175 in those 30 days, and my performance actually increased by every measure I tracked. I added 8 push-ups, a 20% increase, 6 more sit-ups, a 10% increase, and I dropped my run time from 20:35 to a 17-minute 55-second 2-mile. But my body composition barely felt like it changed. While I was 10 pounds lighter, I feel like I had the exact same body fat percentage, and I suspect that the inadequate protein intake combined with the nearly 50% fat content of my diet meant that my body really catabolized the muscle mass along with the fat. So while I'm glad to end the challenge lighter than I started, I really can't say I feel like I have much to show for it. And all in all, you should not do this. You can lose weight with literally any other diet. But even so, if some diet guru that their way is the only way to lose weight, they are in fact wrong.
Do you think it's weird that you're my best friend, but I eat chicken nuggets?